All right. Well, thanks everyone. It looks like we've got, I think, critical mass here. Looks like we've got a bunch of folks join us here in the last minute or two. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. We only have 30 minutes. This one to keep this short today. Let me share my screen here. Is everyone able to see that? Yeah, I see Frank nodding. That's all I've got on my screen at the moment, but I'll trust Frank. So thanks for that confirmation. So welcome to everyone. As you know, this is the kickoff meeting for our Oregon RTO Advisory Committee. My name is Adam Schultz. I think I know most of you. I look forward to getting to know the rest of you who I don't know yet. And you know, we recognize this effort is really occurring within a very active, ongoing evolution of regional energy markets. Certainly Bonneville's announcement last week on EIM, the Power Pool Symposium on RA just this week, some major developments there. We also realize there are a lot of technical studies that have looked at these issues, so we're not looking to duplicate those efforts. Instead, we were really trying to focus here mostly on the qualitative issues to gather and synthesize the range of perspectives that exist among Oregon stakeholders on key issues around RTO formation. Go here to my slides, just a bit of a short agenda. Welcome and introductions we'll get from Director Benner. I saw Janine just joined us here a moment ago. And then I'll go through the key elements of SB 589, our timeline for implementation, the advisory committee membership, and briefly review expectations, and then have a chance for some questions and discussion. Of course, I know we'll have ample opportunity to engage in the real substantive issues in the months ahead, but we can save that for then. Is there a question?
I think it was someone off mute.
Okay, great. But first I will turn it over to Janine.
All right, thanks, Adam. Well, my role here is really to say thank you so much to this group. We really appreciate the time and service that you're providing to the state by being a part of this advisory committee. You are really the people who will be or would be affected by the creation of an RTO. You've been following the issues and participating in the regional discussions. And so we're counting on you to share with us your expertise and perspectives. And in SB 589, the legislature specifically asked us to work with you to help the state better understand the benefits, opportunities, and challenges associated with the development or expansion of an RTO. So most of you have worked with ODO in the past, but I did want to take this opportunity to quickly remind you of our new mission and how we achieve it, which you can see on this slide here. And we really see this study as a key part of our role in helping Oregonians make informed decisions and maintain a resilient and affordable energy system. And then by convening this very esteemed group and drafting the report to the legislature, we're serving as that central repository of information. We're providing energy education and technical assistance, and perhaps most importantly, being a venue for problem solving Oregon's energy challenges. So this is something we're doing both because it's something we've been asked to do by the legislature, but it fits in really well with ODO's mission and our position. And so before we go to the rest of the agenda, we're going to ask everyone to introduce themselves. And in the interest of time, maybe we'll just do name and organization. And once you've introduced yourself, bounce to another person that you know. So as Adam said, I'm Janine Benner, Director of the Department of Energy. Adam's already introduced himself. So I will jump over to Ruchi Sidir.
Hi, everyone. Ruchi Sudhir, Oregon Department of Energy, off camera, bandwidth issues, but it was nice to see you momentarily. Thanks for being here.
Now you call on someone else, Ruchi.
Aha. I'll call on Nicole.
Hi, everyone. Nicole Hughes, Executive Director of Renewable Northwest. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this. And I will pass it to Frank Lawson.
Thanks, Nicole. I'm Frank Lawson, the CEO and General Manager of Eugene Water and Electric Board. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and work with you all, and I will pass it to Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert Eckenrode, General Manager and CEO of Umatall Electric Cooperative out in Hermiston. How about to Robin Freeman?
Hi, everybody. Robin Freeman, Director of Policy, PUC, and I'm going to pass it on to Nadine Hanhan.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry about that. Nadine Hanhan, Oregon PUC staff. And I will pass it off to Ben. Good job.
Hi, my name is Ben Quila. I'm the Director of Power Planning for the Northwest Power and Conservation Council, and I will pass it to Fred Hewitt.
Hi, everybody. Fred Hewitt in Portland Northwest Energy Coalition. Let me pass it on to Pam, or should I say Representative Marsh.
Thank you. Pam is good. I'm Pam Marsh. I'm the state representative for District 5 and chair of the House Energy and Environment Committee, and glad to be here with all of you. Although, as usual, I'm distracted. So Alec, have you introduced yourself yet?
No, I have. Alec Shebel, Government Affairs for Umatilla Electric.
And who would you like to bounce it to?
Travis, if he hasn't gone.
I am Travis Erie. I'm Business Manager of International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 125, representing utility and construction workers here in the Northwest. I'm not sure who else has gone, so.
It's getting trickier. Let's go to Elizabeth Elbow.
Hi there. I'm Elizabeth Elbell with Oregon DEQ, and I am supporting one of our newer staff members. I'll hand it off to Mary Pleasant.
Hi, I'm Mary Pleasant. I work at Oregon DEQ as a greenhouse gas reporting specialist. And let's see, have we heard from Jason Huser?
Yeah, hi, this is Jason Huser with the Eugene Water and Electric Board. Hi, everyone. And I'll pass the baton to, I think I saw Julie Peacock from.
Hi, this is Julie Peacock from Bonneville Power Administration. Robbie Agarwal is going to be joining for Bonneville, but I'll also be tuning in. And I'll pass it to Christy Split.
Thank you. I'm Christy Split. I'm the Government Relations Coordinator for the Oregon Department of Energy. Thanks everyone for being here today. And I have no idea who's gone or not. I'm going to leave it to Adam, who's in charge.
Yeah, I think, how about, we heard from Kathy.
I know Kathy Anderson, Senior Manager of Real-Time Operations and Markets at Idaho Power.
And is there anyone, how about on the phone, we have Commissioner Tawney.
Hi all, this is Lisa Tawney with the Oregon PUC. So good to hear everybody.
And then we may have one or two others. If you haven't introduced yourself, please do so.
Alan Zelenka, Assistant Director, P&I at Odo.
Oh yeah, my boss. Forgot to introduce him.
Hi everyone, I'm Collier Savage. I am standing in for Sarah Edmonds as her proxy for Portland General Electric.
Great. And with that, I think we maybe got to everyone. Did we hear from Lindsay?
No, sorry.
Okay, I just caught you there at the last second.
That's okay. Lindsay Schleckaway from Pacific Corp. I do transmission policy.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. That went smoother than I thought it might. So thank you for playing along, and thanks for joining us. So just a quick overview here of the bill, SB 589. I expect most of you are likely familiar with it, but there are really a few major components to it. Beginning with a literature review, the legislature has asked us to review the recent technical studies looking at RTO formation across the West. That work has already largely been completed, or we've been consulting with the PUC on that. The advisory committee, that's the kind of the core of our effort here. Thanks to you all. So we've put together our stakeholder advisory committee, and we are working on developing questions with the PUC that really built on the findings from that literature review that we are looking forward to circulating among our advisory committee members next week. And I will show the timeline here in a moment. Then we'll be convening at minimum per the statute 2 advisory committees this fall. Dates for those have already been set, and you should have received those in your email. We have a third one reserved if we decide we need it, and we can decide that as we go. And then finally, our report to the legislature is due December 31st of 2021. So we really are moving at warp speed here on this one. So we appreciate you guys diving in.
Adam, it looks like you have a question from Fred.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Thanks for flagging it. Fred.
Yeah, so just on the requirement of looking at recent studies, wondering if you will be sending a list of that, or if you can just briefly describe what's on that list. And just to say to everybody, been talking with Adam, I've sent him a whole bunch of other background papers that I like that are not those recent studies. So now I presume you're open to having more input of that type as well.
I am, yes. Mostly the statute is, I think 2019 to 2021 kind of gave us a time window of the most recent studies. Certainly the state-led study that several of the folks on this call were involved with, which just came out in July, is one of those studies. But there have been a number of them over the last couple of years. I don't have my bibliography in front of me, but I will certainly circulate that to the group along with the findings from the literature review. I don't think there'll be too much that's surprising in there to folks who have tracked these studies, but certainly look for that. We'll hope to get that to you when we get the questions out next week. But first, we just kind of I thought it would be good to do some level setting on sort of what are our objectives, how do we see this effort as the Oregon Department of Energy? And so that's kind of the statement we have up here on the screen. We really see it as to gather and synthesize the range of perspectives on the benefits, costs, opportunities, challenges, and risks of RTO formation that exist among a diverse range of Oregon stakeholders to inform the state legislature and other interested parties. So kind of a mouthful there, but we really see it as taking the temperature and gathering and synthesizing the stakeholder perspectives that exist out there on a lot of these key issues, which we'll go through. Now we have our timeline here. I think I shared some of this in bullet form and in some of email traffic and setting up our committee, but here we are August 5th, our kickoff meeting. Again, thanks to everyone. By the end of next week, we will be planning to distribute our questions to everyone on the Stakeholder Advisory Committee and looking for feedback to those questions by September 13th, a week before our first in-person, well, remote meeting most likely, but our live meeting September 20th. And then we'll have a follow-up meeting on October 6th. And then again, I have a third date reserved should we decide we need it. Of course, a tight timeline, so we'll work to get a draft to you all for review before the end of November to give us a couple weeks to review and revise that before we have to get it submitted to the legislature. So that's our overview of the timeline. And here
Fred,
we've.
Do you have another question, or is your hand still up?
My hand was still up. Yeah, you have to click on the 3 little buttons, and I forgot to do that. And then lower hand. Okay, there we go.
Here it might be easier to see. You kind of were introduced to a lot of these folks. I know a few couldn't join us today, but this is our advisory committee. And just a note that the statute did, as you probably know, define some specific organizations and interest groups that needed to be represented. And it also gave us the discretion to expand the list to other entities, naming Bonneville Power in particular. So we did do that based on some other entities that we thought had a valuable contribution to make to this process. So you see them represented here as well. And just a note on the ex officio designation. So those are those additional members. The only functional difference we expect should anything come up, if we want to vote on anything, which we don't expect to happen, in that case, ex officio members would not be casting votes. So that would just be for our advisory committee members. And a brief just summary of expectations. So written feedback to the questions. We'll be providing those via an online portal. If any of you are familiar with the FSEC process for citing, it's a portal we've used at our department here for that process. I have to admit, I'm new to the tool, but I think it's a pretty handy tool. So look for that next week, and we'll be available for any questions or any issues you have in kind of navigating that tool. But it really will allow us to better organize and keep track of the comments and organize and sort through them by topic. So that'll be helpful. And we're looking for those responses again by September 13th. Participation in the advisory committee meetings. Currently, we're anticipating to conduct those remotely. Possible that could change. We'll provide agendas at least 24 hours in advance. And attendance really is critical to have a comprehensive discussion that the legislature seeks on this. So please plan to attend the meetings for the duration. And if you need to delegate your attendance, recognize things certainly come up, just let us know. And then again, on the timeline, we'll commit to get a draft out of the final report by November 24th at the latest, and to give you about 2 weeks to get us feedback on that. And certainly we have several utilities represented here and a lot of technical experts. We also have other stakeholders who maybe aren't as deep in the weeds on some of these issues. So we do have a little bit of background information. We have just reference here to our most recent biennial energy report, where we talked broadly about some of these issues, and we're collecting and going to make available on our website several other resources as background information for those who maybe are newer to some of these topics, if that's helpful to you or to any of your staff. So keep an eye on that. We'll have that posted on our website shortly. And with that, we have about 10 minutes left. I wanted to leave room for questions and discussion. Really just wanted to be able to have the opportunity to briefly come together today and thank everyone, and then set some expectations and let you all know sort of the process we have in mind for getting this work done over the next couple months and getting your valuable advice and feedback. Feel free to either jump in or use the hand raise function, whichever.
Adam, this is Frank. I was just curious, just to follow up on Fred's question from earlier. Do you expect to send us a draft of your literature review prior to the questions, or is, kind of what's the timing of that, and or at least the roster of the studies and materials that you're reviewing? What's the timing versus the questions?
Sure. I was planning on trying to get all that material to you next week, kind of simultaneously was my intention. I'm happy to, I don't see any reason why I can't get the bibliography sent around as soon as this meeting ends, frankly. But I can get that sent around here shortly.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Adam, I have a question. This is Nicole. Will either of the next two meetings either be made available to the public, or will recordings be shared with the public?
We are planning to make them available so that members of the public can attend. I don't anticipate members of the public are going to really want to file written comments to our questions. They're welcome to. It's not going to be hidden. We'll make it available on our website. And they're certainly welcome to attend and sit in on the meetings, but we'll certainly be giving priority to our advisory committee members. And we'll probably try to reserve a public comment period, I'd imagine. We haven't kind of formalized the agenda yet, but that's how I anticipate it running. I don't know if Ruchi or Janine or Christy have any other additional thoughts on that.
Nope, I think that makes sense and reflects what we've discussed so far.
That's great. I don't anticipate this to be the most popular thing that Odo is working on, but I do appreciate you making it available to the public.
Depends on who you ask, Nicole. Yeah.
It's my favorite topic.
Yeah. Any other questions? We don't, no reason to run out the clock and stay all the way till 4:30 if we don't need to, but I just wanted to make the time available if anyone has questions or further thoughts for us. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I'm looking forward to diving into this and getting to work with all of you over the next couple months.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Adam.
enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Together.
I will send around a copy of this recorded video if you want to share it with anyone else in your organization.
Great to see everybody. Bye.